Hey everyone, Jesse with Farming Seattle. Wanted to do a video on this kind of setup that I have going on growing cucumbers and cherry tomatoes. This is Stupid's cherry tomatoes that I've been saving seeds for, and this year I basically had no time to actually start seeds or start plants from seeds. So what I did is I threw them in this giant pot and also this pot. I drilled a lot of holes or made big cuts on the bottoms of these so that the water could go up from the bottom. And then I filled up this metal container, you can kind of see it, with wood chips. And so basically I wanted like a wicking bed type thing where these pots can sit in here, and they actually germinated all these cucumber seeds and tomato seeds. And I wanted to, be able to leave for a couple days and all of this stuff would stay alive and be watered, because everything else is just in the ground. So these have been growing for probably a couple weeks, months, I have no idea. But I was testing it out, and I threw in some fertilizer too in there just so that it'd have some kind of nutrients and whatnot. But it's been growing really well. The tomatoes are really high compared to, I also put some in the ground. So those are the equivalents that I kind of water here and there. Or you have probably 3-foot tall tomato plants with a bunch of tomatoes on them. And surprisingly, I actually have cucumbers. I think I have 1, 2, 3, maybe like 5 or so. Not the best, but not terrible. There's some. So I'd say it's pretty successful. I've seen it done with kind of these big totes over here. Same kind of concept. You get these IBC totes. You can fill the bottom with kind of like larger rocks or whatnot, or just fill it all with dirt. And depending on what size height you want, you can actually, I wouldn't do it on this, but you could connect it from the bottom, but you'd probably put something in the bottom on the side of the tote, and then have a pipe coming out, and wherever that is raised or lowered is where the water is going to eventually flow out. So you could have a pipe come out here in the middle, and then that would be the max water level right there. So overall it's been working pretty good. And I'm trying to do the same system with these plant starts. They're in very small pots and they probably dry out pretty quickly. It's supposed to be in the 80s and I think almost hit 90 this next week. So these are elderberries, grape, and basically the water level, you can see it right now, it barely touches the pots, and it happens, I don't know, every 10 minutes or so. They'll probably get too much water, but we'll see how it works. It should grow pretty well. And then also over here on this other side, same thing. This pot's a little higher up, so the water will come in from the bottom. Same with those, and these are elderberries. This one has a really big root system, so I wanted to use a big pot. And of course all these plant starts, same kind of setup, except it's perlite. And so the very top layer should be dry, but down below it's a little damp, so that these things can grow and they'll root out. I bet there's, nope. I'm trying to think if there's any roots on these things. Yeah, it looks like it might be starting to root out. That little white thing coming out. So I think in the past I had these cuttings too far down because they were getting kind of rotten, and so either you lower the water level or just raise the cuttings up more. So it kind of looked like that, where it's dark and dying. All right. Well, that's all I had for today. I would say that in deserty places or when it's getting really hot, the wicking beds do really well unless you have some sort of automated irrigation going on. It's just kind of resilient that you can leave these here for days and days, fill it up more, and they grow just fine. So thanks for watching.